550 droppers. Let's see how we are doing here. It's Super Bowl Sunday, so I don't know if I'll get a couple people hanging with me. But hopefully I do. If I do, please message me. Let me know if the volume's okay. It says there's 5 people here. Maybe 8. Okay, so we have a couple. I'm okay with a little bit of people. Not my first time. Okay, Lorena. If you're here, please message me and say hello so I know that you're here and that you can hear me. I wanted to say hello from Texas. Hi, Elizabeth. Eva Elizabeth. Hi, how are you? I'm glad you're texting me. How you been? How you doing? How's the weather out there? Let's start with that. It's chilly in here. Okay, it sounds good. I'm glad you get to catch a live stream, Kim. So glad you're here. I usually don't do live streams. Usually I do them later. I'm trying to do them a little bit earlier, but Super Bowl Sunday, I don't want to be watching football. So we're here. I thought I could do a live stream, even if it's for like 30 minutes, however long you guys want to be here, and just chat for a little bit. So I wanted to say hello. Hello, Jazz. Joyce, is that right? You're just laying out a brand new quilt. You want to see the quilt I finished this week? Hold on. I just finished that heart. Wait, fingers. That heart quilt right there. Hi from Montana, Linda. PA, is it Pennsylvania? I'm not very good with geography. South Carolina, Central Michigan, Judy. Nice to see you. Hi from Shirts, Texas. Okay, so I'm ridiculous. I'm sorry. I finished that. God, see when the camera's backwards, so when I point this way, I think I'm pointing. But I just finished that quilt. I used a Minky fabric that I love. Oh, let me share this real quick. Hello from Hawaii. Hi, Jackie. Or Jack, yeah? Did I say your name right? Jackie? Hawaii. All right, hold on. Let me show you something. I really hate cutting Minky. Hi, Courtney. Nice seeing you again. I hate cutting Minky, and I bought this fabric and I spent a heck of a lot of money, and it's really expensive, this stuff. I did a quilt for my son with this stuff. Are you going outside? Hold on, my dog. Really? I hate cutting this stuff because you'll have that fur everywhere. But I love this vacuum thing. Look. The vacuum. It's on one of my videos where I did favorites. Hello from Oregon. Marcel Land. Oh, please forgive me if I mess up your names. Hold on. It's a vacuum. And it vacuums up that lint. I don't know. It's probably loud on... Isn't that cool? So I did a Minky quilt. That heart quilt. That... Okay. That quilt. That heart quilt that I just finished. That quilt. I put Minky in the back, so I cut this, and if you get these little vacuums, I got them at Amazon, and if you scrape the edge with it, you won't have all that fraying. Because one time I did cut this and it goes all everywhere and it'll go in your nose, and but you can literally scrape it. I love this thing. It was on one of my favorites videos. So, and then look. Where did I get this? I got two of them. They have them at Amazon. This one you plug in, so it's a rechargeable one. This one's a battery pack. I like the battery pack better. I noticed, and then it has this filter thing. They're kind of both the same, okay? I don't know. Where's my camera? Do you see how? And this catches it. I love this thing. But when I was doing it, the battery went out on me, so I was charging it. But it helps with, I hate Minky. I hate cutting it, the way it loses all that stuff, but it really does work. I have that Minky everywhere though. Wait, hold on, let me vacuum. Judy, you use a 2.5-inch masking tape and cut through the middle. Oh, Judy, I'm going to use your idea. Okay, I'm going to try it. Hello from Washington, Jay Sims. The weather's real pretty here. It's kind of cool. It feels like it's cold when the wind hits you, but you can literally wear a light jacket. It's not like freezing at all, so it's really nice. But I just want to share this because I thought, well, do I really like it? Look at that. And it really grabs like the Minky really well. So I really love this. So are you guys doing good? How you guys doing? I wanted to do a video. Videos take longer to edit. And so I was like, you know what? I was doing the sweet honeybee. Courtney says it's 43 degrees in Kansas. I did the sweet honeybee, so I was busy getting all that organized, the paperwork, the event, the tables, the material, and all that stuff. And so I'm a bit kind of like exhausted from the event. And I was like, you know what? Let me do a live stream and then get ready for editing a couple videos or filming. But the weather over here was, the lowest was 43. No, the lowest was 43 in the morning. And then right now it's probably like in the 60s. It's 55 in Washington. I got these at Amazon. So if you guys are looking for these, I got them at Amazon. I want to do an affiliate link thing where I'm going to have a page. I'm going to see how to do that. My son was showing me where I have my own page and then have it linked to my videos, and then I'll lead you right to them. I think you'll get like 1% commission from the sales of Amazon, I guess. I don't know. But this way, you guys can get these. But I love the battery one. Let me show you the battery one. The battery one is this one. It seems like it has more oomph to it, more power. This rechargeable one is great too, though. Then you don't have to use batteries. So, but I got two to try them out. I did them on my video, my favorites. But I really like them. Surprisingly, I'm still using them. And you know when you're cutting and you're cutting down house square triangles and you have all that lint on the table, these are really neat to just dust up all that lint and get rid of it from the table. It's cold here. I'm sorry it's so cold over there, Jan. Leslie, I'm glad you're here. It's 20 degrees in Ohio, guys. I'm so glad you're here. Hello, Cindy. How are you? I'm glad you guys are here with me. I've had a really rough week. But it's been a good week. I got a lot done. But it's, you know, I kind of broke up from a community that I was working for and serving. And so I guess I kind of broke up with them and left them. And so there's a whole bunch of games and backlash that's coming from that. But I don't care. I didn't do nothing wrong. they didn't do things right and they didn't handle the situation right. So I bolted. But, you know, people just are, they don't know how to behave. So it's been a week. Doris, I love this. Seriously. If I don't know if you when you're cutting, this will just pick up all your stuff. I love this thing. I wanted to do my yearly loves, what I still love. Do I really love this? You know how I did a video on my favorites? I want to kind of go back. Am I really using them? Because I think it's important not to just share something like, I got this and I like it now, but do you like it a year from now, and are you still using it? I'm so sorry. Hold on. Because I don't want to share something that you guys will not really enjoy. Like, I'm going to share another one. Hold on. I'm sorry, I'm coughing. Like these. I did a video on these. These are traveling storage things. Like if you travel a lot, you put, you know, like your underclothing on there. You put your socks. And I use these for my GEDs, my projects that I need to get done. I still love these. They're my favorite. When I'm doing a new event, for example, I was doing that heart quilt that's behind me. And so I had a whole bunch of leftover scraps, leftover pieces, and I put them all in a bag and kind of just get, like, this is a quilt, a whole bunch of quilt blocks that are done. And what happens is I found this at a quilt store. Can you imagine? I found these blocks for so I didn't make these, okay? I found these blocks. I think I paid $5 for a bag of, it came with, I believe it came with 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks. So I could make a baby quilt with this. But what I did is I get a jelly, swimming roll, and I roll it, and then I pin them at the end so they don't wrinkle on me. And then I went shopping for some of the fabrics. So this is like a whole bunch of little fat quarters. So when I go to a quilt store, if I want to work on a project, I'll take it with me to the quilt store. And I took this with me, and I found the fabric that fit it, fabrics that will work with it. So if I want to make more blocks, and so here, let me pick. I know you guys are talking to me. I know my husband's watching the Super Bowl too. Good time to be out here talking, y'all. So it's pinned. I don't know if you see the pin right there. I usually put 2. And then I stacked my project in here. I love these bags. And they're small. And the project's in there. So it fits everything. I love this stuff. And I still use them since I did a video on them. Let me say hi to everybody. Let's see. Hello, Kevin from Virginia. Whoop, 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 whoop. My husband's watching Super Bowl 2. Jane. Courtney, you entered your quilt in the quilt fair. I'm so happy for you. I need to enter my quilts in a quilt show somewhere. They're asking you, Courtney, did you win at the quilt fair? I think you did, right? I want to do another one of my new favorite products, because I really like videos like that, because it makes me kind of consider buying those things. But I want to do like a full year on some of the products. Like, okay, I want to show you this. I bought this. I do embroidery work. Courtney got second place on her quilt that she put in a show. I don't care. You did wonderful. You put your quilt in a show. You're awesome. This is a stitch remover. Well, to be honest, the Peggy Sue stitch remover that I paid, like, they have them for like $120 or $200. They have one like this that looks exactly like this, but this is a dog hair trimmer for $14. So I got this to see if I liked it. And I want to try it. I did try it. It does remove the stitches. And this is a portable one, so you can have it charging. You could have it charging with the USB thing. I did a video. I need to edit. I'm so sorry. I'm horrible at editing lately because I'm so busy. I did a video on removing stitches with a different stitch remover and with this one to see if it would work, because this is $14 compared to their $120 one, and they both work the same. Like I said, they're playing us, people. So I wanted to do a video on this and kind of share, does it work, if it's worth it, and does it work the same as the other one, so that you're not spending $120 or $89 on a embroidery stitch remover, but maybe only $14. Just a thought. So let's see. I ordered a Nova bobbin winder. I love that Nova bobbin winder. Leslie, that bobbin winder is my favorite. I have two of them, one for here and one for my regular sewing machine. I love it. I like it when I go to the Houston Quilt Show, because when I bought that bobbin winder, they set the bobbin winder for me so that it winds the bobbin really pretty. But that neat bobbin winder, you could use it for your regular sewing bobbins and for Longarm quilting bobbins. Worth it. Worth it. You're planning on going and doing another quilt fair. I'm excited for you. I need to get my act together, and I need to decide what quilt I would like to put on a quilt show, but we'll see how that goes. You love my seam ripper? $1.75. Seam ripper, best one ever. I have the grace. I feel that God gives me grace to find some of the best products that are out there, and surprisingly, they're really, really cheap. Hello, Kathleen. Nice to see you from Texas. Thank you for coming to the live. So I feel like I have an anointing to find like great products. Oh, like at Joann's. These are my blah, blah, blah. These are my favorite pins. They have them at Joann's currently, which is a lot, I think. The box is $10, but you could use a coupon, and I think you could get 40% off or 50% off. But just recently, I love these so much. These little pins at Joann's, they're like purple. Am I catching the light? No, probably not. I just lost one. It's on the floor. Okay. I like them so much for pinning. I don't like the white circle ones anymore. I also love these, but you get these. They're called fork needles. Fork needles. It has a two. Do you see that? Hopefully you can see. I love these for connecting your seams. Best ever. And the other ones are from Joann's, and those you get at a quilt store. These are expensive though. $17 a set for only like 30 pins. Can you believe it? They're jacking it up, man. They're jacking it up for the quilters. So, but I went to Joann's the other day and I bought a whole bunch of these little ones, the purple ones. I got a set of 3 boxes for like $5 each. Well, you buy 3, get 2 free. So I got them for $5. I think it's worth it because I really love them. And since I have the studio up here and then I have downstairs what I piece, And then I give them away as gifts at the Sweet Honeybee or at my events. Yeah, you kind of have to, they have a way about them, the fork needles. And sometimes they bow in and sometimes they bow out. So sometimes they won't go in straight. But I like them. They're okay. But these that I get at Joann's that are just as good, I think. Oh, I'm so sorry. There. You do 2 at a time, right? But I love these. They're my favorite. I love the way I'm the way you can grab them with your hands. Let's see. What is everybody signing up? You're watching the Super Bowl with me in your ear. Well, thank you, Donna, for even taking time to listen to what I have to say. Yes. Let me share what I did. You want me to do a video on how to make leaders or how to attach the zipper on a leaders? Because someone was asking me, can I do a video on that? Because guess what happened? I tore my leaders. I tore them. Okay, you want me to do a video on both? Okay, my recommendation, and I'm going to share this with you. I recommend that you go to Gamel. You can't go to Linda's Electric Quilting anymore because they're not sponsored or supported by Gamel. But you could go to Gamel, Longarm Quilting, and then go to their materials or supplies. What you're going to need to buy is zippers. So hold on. Let me see. I brought my zippers here the other day. Where are my zippers? I went and bought zippers at, where did I buy them? Where did I put them? I brought them up here. Hold on. I think I put, oh, there they are. Nope. Okay. For you who are asking me about the leaders, sorry, where did I have them? I know I brought them in here, but my life has been in chaos because I'm getting everything done that I can get done. So sometimes, like, when you're in a hurry, you kind of just shove stuff in drawers because you're insanely... Oh, here, I found them. Okay, so you're going to have to go to Gamel because I don't recommend any other zippers other than Gamel zippers because I've had my zippers since 2008 and I haven't had problems from them. So that's the only reason why I recommend the Gamel zippers. I got... Okay, this is from Linda's Electric Quilting, but they don't support Gamel anymore. Hi, Darlene. How you doing? I think, Darlene, I had you as a moderator last time. I may ask you to do that again if that's okay. So last year, I bought zippers from Linda's Electric Quilting, and it's 150 wide zippers, and they were $10. So you get like wide zippers. And if you're going to do leaders, you're going to need to get at least 2 to make one set of leaders. And the zippers come like this. It's a big giant roll. Now, if you've never put leaders, you don't have leaders on your long arm, of course you're going to need both sides. You're going to need one side to put on your canvas for your long arm. You're going to need one set which if you buy two, you'll have the opposite end, the end that you're going to put on the leader itself and one on the leader that's on the long arm. These cost $10. I have had my gamma since 2009, and the last week, literally, and I've worked these things. Last week was the first time that I tore one. So but I tore the canvas that, this is like painter's canvas. You could get painter's canvas or canvas at Joann's, and you can also get it at Hobby Lobby. What you want to do is you want to get enough yardage so that you can get one whole long piece. So for example, my long arm goes up to 115. So if I get 2 yards, that's 72. If I get 3 yards, it's 108. So I got 3.5 yards, so that when I cut it, I get a long, beautiful long strip. So, and then at Joann's, you can get colored canvases. You don't have to use painter's canvas. You can use even, you know, that fabric that you can use outside that they, that's a stiffer, tighter woven. But I've had these leaders for, I don't know, it's 2009. 2019 was 20 years. No, 20 years? 10 years. We're going into 13 years, maybe 14, maybe. So my canvas broke, but I went to Joann's, like I said, and I had made these, and this was an extra one. I had made these because I did a video. I just haven't, who's asking me? I made these a while back. And so what you do, and I did a video, so I'm going to post it now that these tore. This is the same zipper that was on my old canvas. I just sewed it to a new canvas. And my zipper is still in really great shape. They don't pop the teeth. And for 150 zipper, it only costs $10. I reckon, yeah, whatever thicker cloth that you want to use. And another thought is, I know a friend of mine, she was a long arm quilter and she had a business, a storefront. What she did is she didn't even make leaders. What she did is she just used the zipper itself as her leader, and she would sew on this material. And she did it for years, and it didn't affect anything. I think the canvas is a bit better. And I got this at Joann's, and I got, my favorite colors are reds and purples and stuff. And so I didn't want the white one because they get dirtier faster, or they get dirty. So I got this color. And so the good thing is I had an extra one, and I just took the zipper off the torn leader and just zipped it on. And I decided, you know what? I want to go ahead and do that. So let's see what you guys are saying. Everybody started by Angela Rogers. Okay. The fork ones are, someone was talking about the fork needles. I really like the fork needles. You just kind of have to get them in really well. Sometimes they go in and sometimes they bow out. But if you want zipper leaders, my recommendation, I'm going to do the video sometime this week. I was going to start editing the video because I have to find it in my memory log because I have it all in this passport. I recommend you buy yourself a couple of these. I only use 2 liters. I only use liters for the back fabric. So I recommend that you buy as many sets as you want. I went and I bought probably 10 because I wanted 5 extra liters, 5 sets. So, all right, let me give you a, Courtney, are you moderating for me? Thank you, Courtney. Thank you so much. I'm so glad I have you as a moderator. Ooh, that just worked great. So go to Linda doesn't do it anymore. Go to Gamble, Statler, Stitcher, and go on like supplies, and they'll have these zippers on there. You literally do not even have to make these, because I have a friend who just numbered these and then she would sew the quilt back on these. I just kind of like these. They really do help. I think it will protect the zipper itself. But I like this zipper I've had since I purchased the Longarm. I've never had a broken tooth. I don't have issues with it jamming on me. I don't have problems at all. They are great. So I really do recommend them. But I'm going to do the video, I promise. Well, I can't promise nothing because I don't know what the heck's going to happen tomorrow. But I'm going to try to post that video this coming week because I'm going to make some extra ones. Well, she has a wrench, which means that I the other day we did a live stream and I needed someone to be able to moderate some weird comments that were coming on here. So in this, I could, all right, we have them again. Remove. Instead of me having to deal with some posts that aren't part of quilting, I gave Darlene the ability to moderate that and remove them for me because I want to be able to read what you guys are saying and not be distracted, because I'm having to read the prompter because it's like a prompter that comes up with your comments. Yeah, thank you, darling. You're awesome. And I could have anybody be a moderator, and one day I asked Darlene to do it. So I guess now she's a moderator every time I do a live stream if she comes along. So I recommend you get these zippers if you want to put zipper leaders on your Longarm. I think you'll get two, this is a set, you'll get two sets for $20. Zipper leaders cost $120 if you purchase them from Gamble. Yeah, they're expensive. And I think if you buy an extra set, each set costs, so it's $120 to get the leaders for the machine and for you to take it off, for you to put it on your quilt. And if you buy extra, a set of these, they charge you $80 to $75 to make a set of these. And they're sending you only this set in regard of the fact that they know that you already have them on your machine. But $80, if you buy these, at one time they were only $5 for the zipper sets. Now they've gone up to $10. And this was probably like 6 months ago, so it could be a little bit different. So I ended up buying myself, where is it? I found it. I bought myself I think I bought myself like 4 or 5 different sets of these. I bought a used Gamble and it came out to 3 sets. Yeah. I would go to University Longarm Quilting. They sometimes have people selling their machines and they'll sell you their leaders. They're expensive, but I think for the canvas that I bought, I think I got probably 4 yards or maybe 3.5 yards, probably 4, knowing me. And I think the canvas was like $8 maybe $5. And then I got a coupon for half off. So so you can make yourself, I think for 20, well, I've done it with the leaders only cost me $5, and I made 2 extra sets. It cost me less than $20 to make them, which, it's a deal. Even if I was to make $75 worth, it's worth it. And having an extra set is a blessing because right now I am I'm really busy. I am so busy right now. So what I do is I put leaders on a back fabric while I'm quilting quilting a quilt. And then I'm doing the bobbins, putting the leaders on, and I have the bin where I have them all at. And then when that is done, I just unzip, put the new one on. I already have all the quilt stuff prepped, meaning the bobbin's ready. The back fabric is ready with the leader. The batting is cut to size. And all I have to do is, I even have the thread in the cubby, have everything. just kind of switch and go. And usually when I take off a quilt, I just put the quilt on the side for a while, get the machine going, and once the machine's going, I start dealing with the quilt that I just finished and start trimming it, start getting rid of all the fabric or batting that's not worth using, and then do a receipt. And then while the machine's going, it usually goes for like 2 hours maybe, give or take how big the quilt is. Then I'm prepping another quilt with another set of leaders. And I can, right now I have, when I got my machine, it came with 2 sets, but I don't use the top set. So it really gave me 3 sets, and I made myself 2 extra sets. So I could prep up to 5 quilts now, where I'm having the back fabric on the leader. Oh, I have the back fabric on the leader. I have the bobbins wound. I have the thread in place. I have the batting, and I put it all in the cubby. And really, when the quilts are working or quilting, I'm prepping other quilts. And you should have seen me the other day. I was like a psychopath in here, like a tornado. But I ended up getting like 4 quilts completely done. A large queen quilt, and I got probably two baby quilts, 1 throw, and I also finished that quilt that's on the long arm, the heart one. So that's 5 quilts, maybe 4 quilts. And switching, meaning taking everything off, re-putting it on. That could take, if you're not fast, it could take a good 30-40 minutes. And if you're pinning, some of you don't have leaders and you're pinning can take you about an hour, depending on the size that you're quilting. So leaders is the way to go. But some people say they don't like them, and I based so. And another thing, I number my leaders. Hi, Virginia, from Camden, South Carolina. So I number my leaders, and the reason I number, this leader will have the same number as my other leader. I put the fabric here on 5, and I sew all the way down, and I based. And this other leader has the number 5. So you see these? I don't know if you can see them. I'm trying to show you guys. I don't even know if I'm being helpful. So this is on 5, and then here, if you see the number, here, if you see the number 5. So if I put the bottom of the bottom fabric on one end and the top of the bottom fabric on the other end, they're exactly in the same place. Yes, when you buy the zippers from Gamble, you are getting the 2 sets. But when you're making leaders, you only put 1 set on here. And the other part, which would be this part, if you don't have them, if you don't have Gamble zipper, if you don't have zippers, this would go on the canvas. And so some of you may not even have a canvas on your, I don't know what you guys would have. You would have to have some type of fabric on your rollers. You would put the zipper on that canvas material, and you would sew it with your Longarm quilting machine and just sew the zipper on there. You just have to make sure that where you sew the top end of the zipper, like on your pickup bar, that you sew exactly in the same space where on the bottom where you're rolling the back fabric. You just have to make sure they're both placed in the same place. And then when you sew in your canvases, the zippers need to be, so like, I don't know if you could see it. This is one of the these are 2 different canvases. If you see them, they are sewn exactly on the same space. And then I number them. So this has a number 5. And on this end, it has a number 5 too. And so you want to just keep them consistent. I don't know if you know what I mean. Like they're sitting right, butted right to each other. Am I explaining myself right? Hi from Fair Oaks Ranch, Texas. Christine, How you doing, sister? So, yes, that's what canvas leaders are for. I recommend, this is the size Gamel made. I recommend you make them wider, meaning that these are a bit wider. And the reason I recommend them is sometimes the zipper does get in the way especially when you're doing custom quilting. You want these to be a bit longer. And that's probably what I'll do next time. Yes, one side has the pull. The side that has the pull is the side that's on the machine. So on my machine, I don't know, let me turn you. Okay, let me put my finger. You know that pickup bar right there? It has that leader, that canvas. I don't know if you see the white canvas on the bar. That canvas has the zipper pull on it. So on my leaders, they don't have the pull at all. The canvas does. Maybe I should roll it so you guys can see it. I don't know if you can see it. See right here? Can you see me? Here's the zipper. And it's on this canvas. And so the zipper leader kind of hooks into, let me see. Let me show you. So my zipper leader, do you see the zipper? It's connected right here. And let me share this. This is painter's canvas that they used. And the only thing that's holding it to the bar is duct tape. Duct tape. And so do you see how this does not have the zipper on it? So what you do is I just plug it in to the zipper. And then it zips. So the zipper side goes onto your leader itself. And some of you don't have maybe a leader. You could make one, because all they did is duct tape to the bar. It's duct taped. Because if you look at the bottom one is the same way. The zipper is on the bottom one. But as a matter of fact, I went to the store the other day and I had to go buy brand new duct tape because on my bottom leader down here, the duct tape started pulling off of the tape. So I have to duct tape it in place. So these, the ones with the zipper on them, they go on your machine. And in the video that I'm going to edit, one zipper goes in this direction and then one zipper goes in the opposite direction, because the way you kind of put them together, you can't put the zippers in the same direction. It won't work. So the zipper end goes here. When you buy these from Gamel, and I know you could buy these zippers at, I don't recommend you get the Joanne zippers. I recommend you get the Gamel ones. They comes with the set. So the set that has a zipper on it goes on your machine. The set that doesn't goes on the leader. And so you can make yourself your own leaders, and it'll save you $120. And to do these, and I don't use a zipper leader for the quilt top. I only use zipper leaders for my back because I hang my quilt top. There's some weird text right there. Hold on. Let's see. We're gonna, thank you. And we're gonna remove you too. Thank you. Thank you, Darlene. Message me your address. I will send you something for being my moderator. So, but I think for even if you buy $40 worth, you'll get 2 sets of leaders and 1 set of leaders at Gamel's at $75. I think it's worth it. maybe for even $75, you can get 3 sets. So you could put 3 sets of quilts on there. Let me put my quilts on here. Look, I want to show you this. My friend Chris Bullard, she's on our stream. She made these. Hold on. Aren't they beautiful? And they're for kids. We're going to send them to a friend who gives quilts to cancer patients, cancer children. And she's been working really hard making me a whole bunch of quilts so I could quilt them. Right, Chris? All right, let's see. What I'm calling a set of leaders, it's once you have them on your machine, I'm making, this is considered a set. This one for the bottom of the back and one from the top of the back, because that's a set to me. Gamble gives you would get 3 of these, and the reason you would get 3 is because they would give you one for your quilt top. Now, if you do put leaders on your quilt top and you pull your quilt top taut that way, you would need to make 3 of these. But I only use 2, which I only use these for my back fabric. So if you see my long arm, there's a leader on the top of that pickup bar right there, and there's one on the bottom which is on the roller, and it's used for the back fabric. So I only have leaders for my back fabric, which would be a set of 2, and this would be considered one set for one quilt, because right now I have the back fabric set up and I just hang, you know how you see that quilt just kind of overhanging? I never put a leader on my quilt tops. I've learned that I had a lot of mistakes, and they warps the quilt top and overstretches it, so I feel like when it hangs nice and just straight without any pulling or tugging, I have the best success. But some people love putting leader on their quilt tops. But anyway, what else was I saying? Doris was saying that she uses Velcro. I don't know. I've never used Velcro. And some people do use, what is it called? Those, her name is Renee. They're red snappers. She uses red snappers. Yes, I float my quilt top too, Doris. She uses red snappers for her long arms. I don't like red snappers because you're having to use your forearm to push that red snapper in, and sometimes it's hard to get the fabric straight, and you're wrestling with a red bar that snaps into another bar. I just find sewing the fabric to this material, it gives me more control. But some people love red snappers. I believe, I don't know what they are. At one time they were $80. These, I get a set of zippers, $10 each. So for $20, I'm making myself a set of leaders. Yes, and some people love red snappers. I just never, and I guess I don't like it. And let me just be honest, because when you're using the red snappers, you're literally snapping them in one quilt at a time. I like the fact that, like with this set of leaders, I can get another client's back fabric, sew it real quick on the leader itself. I know it's basted and sewn straight. I know that I'm sewing the back fabric in line. And so I already have this prepped. When I take the other quilt off, I just zip it on and zip it on. So for me, it's faster than dealing with those snappers. But we all have our own style. And I think after a while, like this may be like tedious. Oh, I'm sitting and sewing the back fabric. I just found this worked the best for me. And I could do, because I have 4 sets of these now, and I'm going to make 2 more. I could literally have 5 back fabrics ready to just zip off, and zip back on and get ready to go. So this saves me time. And while the quilt is already working, I'm already setting this up. And I know that it's just a quick exchange. And with red snappers, you can only really snap in one quilt when the quilt is cleared from the other quilt that you finished quilting. And I just feel it saved me time, especially when I have a lot of work. The switching can take, setting up can be something that takes the most time. For example, the quilt, the fabric that I have on this quilt, I'm going to quilt a whole bunch of baby quilts. Baby quilts can take, like that quilt that I showed you that Chris made, it could take me maybe like 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half, depending on how fast I set up. And fiddling with red snapper, or fiddling with something on the bar or on the table to snap it in and get your fabric right in line. Oh my God. And I have some frustrating days where nothing can go right. And I don't want to be dealing with fiddling with tucking the fabric in the snap and trying to have it straight. And if it's not straight, undoing it, or if it pleats, oh, it's just, I can't. So zippering is my thing. I don't know if that makes sense. Yes, Miss Chris, her quilts are beautiful. She's like sending me tons of them, so I better get working. My leaders, no. When I got them from Gamble, Chris, I got both of them were beige. Both of them were beige. But I ended up buying, this is a leader that I made. So I decided I didn't like beige so much. I could have gone beige. I decided to get a colored canvas. So these are mine. If you were to buy the leaders from Gamble, they only give you beige ones. They don't have colors. But if you make your own at Joann's, they have, like, I just saw the other day, they had some teal canvas, different colors. And the way I designed my leaders, this doesn't matter if I sew the top of the back fabric on this leader, it will work. Or if I sew the bottom of the back fabric on this leader, it will work. They interchange. So you don't need one for the top of the back or the back. They both will work on either one, which is kind of neat. Let me see. Yeah, Cindy, I really recommend spending money on zippers from Gamble, because I know Joann Fabrics has zippers. I don't want to give you a suggestion on their zippers and then you end up having the teeth break on you. I'm just sharing with you. I've had, like, the one that broke, the canvas that broke. The zipper is still viable, so I just took the zipper off and put it on this canvas. So I love the zipper. And I know the reason I got this idea is a friend of mine. She had a company and she charged for the amount of time it took you. The minute you sewed your fabric to the leader, so let's say you sat on the machine and started sewing your fabrics on these leaders, she started charging you for the time of the long arm. And so she wanted to make it a quick, fast, put the fabric on, put this on the long arm, so that she's not charging for the time of pinning. Because she says that she would have probably lost clients because she was charging $24 an hour to use her long arm. And she used the zipper system. And she used the number zipper system, which she's a genius. So her name is Kathy, and she used to have a quilt store here, a long-arm quilting store here in San Antonio. It was called Cat's Meow. And she was the one who sold me my Gamble and the one that gave me this idea. So I really do thank her for it. But she never made canvases. I think she only bought the canvases that came with it. And then she went and she had tons of these. And she would just sew, I don't know, on this lip, and she had this lip numbered, which you could just use a zipper, but I think after a while, the sewing from years, you'll ruin the zipper, and if you ruin a canvas, who cares? Hello from Central Mississippi. Cox, P. Cox, P. Cox. Are they plastic or metal? My zippers are plastic. The teeth are plastic. So yeah, I will, since this happened to me, I feel like I was going to try to serger this together and save it. But then I thought, oh, come on. Just gonna make another leader. I use a basting stitch on my Juki 210Q. It is on 6. So it's a pretty long basting stitch and on my Juki 210Q, literally that thing runs like a horse, so it takes me less than probably 3 to 5 minutes to sew one side on. And because they're numbered, I know, so I have the back fabric on this end and it's numbered, so then I get the other leader that has the number 5 on the other end, and I just grab the bottom and put the leader on 5 and I just go. And it's a quick interchange. I mean, it is fast. And when you're working for people, the faster you get things done, the more money you make, and the less time you have to work, and the more time you'll have to do your own stuff. Let's see. So, pinning. Also beware of pinning. You will tear your shirts up. Because I used to pin initially. When you're leaning over your long arm, the pin will start pinning your garments, and they'll start tearing your t-shirts apart. Well, I know I commented on that on Linda's Electric Quilting. I know she saw one of my videos. And when she started doing her other videos, she says, well, because she always pins, right? She says you could put tape over the pins. Why would you want to pin and then put tape over the pins? And now you're having to take the tape off, or the painter's tape off of the pins, when all you have to do is base sew. So to me, it's like a redundant overkill job. Just hold on. We're removing you. Just baste your leader on. You don't have to put tape then. You don't have to worry about your garments being torn up. You don't have to even be worried, like when you pin on a leader, it does these waves on the back fabric. You don't have to worry about that because it's a clean sew. It's a clean line on the base. Hello from Canada. No, you're fine. So what else would you guys like to talk about? Ask me anything. I'm here to answer your questions. No tape. I mean, come on. Yes. And hello, Tucker. Tucker did a block swap with us, and his blocks were, no, you could, what I have a problem with is sometimes when I did the pinning, like they taught me, is sometimes I would scrape my hand on it, and then I would literally get puncturing my hands. I understood that you're supposed to pin and have the pin hiding underneath, and then I would hurt my hands and I would get really frustrated. Yes, Tucker, but Tucker, you can make your own leaders for less. You can make your own leaders, which I've made extra for myself. I wash them as, yes. The more I sew my scraps, the bigger the mountain sews. Yes. Sewing, man. No. I just recommend when you're working for people, some of you are like working for yourselves, so it doesn't matter, and you have the time to pin or you have the time to do it the way you do. What happens is when you're working for people, you really want to get things done quickly, and so I'm not I do have seasons of procrastination or even moments of laziness, but they say lazy people are the most innovative because they try to get stuff done the fastest they could get it done. And I really do find that this man, I remember one time when I first got my gamel, I was pinning a baby quilt, literally a quilt like a little quilt like this one. And it took me longer to set up the machine because I was pinning the back, and at the time I was also pinning the quilt top, that it took me less time to quilt it than the amount of time of pinning it. And I don't think that pinning, I don't know, setting up should not take more time than the work itself that you're doing. Hello from Louisville, Kentucky, KY. Hello, nice to meet you. I'm glad you're here. So, thank you for, so yes, leaders, but I don't know. I'm a bit of a procrastinator. The faster, you should see me run. The other day I was going to film myself and I said, y'all, you're going to think I'm crazy. To me, especially when I do those little banners, I want to sew the fabric on and put the banner on and just start to play instead of being like, messing around. Y'all are hand quilting. Props to y'all. I only like hand binding now. Now I like hand binding because I got my thimbles, and now I like applique. Hey y'all, are you guys subscribing to each other? Y'all better be subscribed to me too. I just get so much done when you avoid work. I know. Hello from Arizona. How are you? Please try it. But I'm going to do a video, and what I want to do is I'm going to make my leaders a little bit different than Gammel's. But what I want to do, I recommend you go to Gammel and you order the leaders from them. I may go on there tonight because you people take everything. I did a video on these. These. I can't find them at Walmart no more. Y'all take them. Thank you for liking my honest content. Honestly, a lot of people don't like my honest opinion about things. I got myself into a big old thing of trouble because of my honest opinion. People don't like honest people. Yes, Miss Darlene. So what else? What do you guys want to talk about? I want to do a retreat. Hey, my question. I want to do a retreat. If you're here in Texas, it's called the Sweet Honeybee. I'm having my events there. If you're here in Texas and you want to come, it's at a hotel now. The hotel is beautiful. Interested in your red bobbins and where you get them. Okay, let me see. Red bobbins. Let me share what bobbins I love. Update on laser. Okay. All right, bobbin update. Bobbins. Best bobbins ever. Okay, these I got at Innova. Yeah, you can see them. I got these at Innova. My recommendation is, I love these. These are the better than Gammel's. Don't buy Gammel's. Okay, buy whatever you want. I don't want to get in trouble by Gammel. I don't like Gammel's because they're very heavy. It's it feels like a steel metal on their bobbins. So Innova had these, so I tried them. The red ones. So if you want these, they're at Innova. I did a video on these. I think these came out to $1 something, $1, $2 per Nova one. Gammel's were like $3.25. I went on Amazon and I bought these. Let me see. I'm gonna move you here. They have a slit right here. What I like it is when I'm putting the thread in the slit, I pull it out and I have the thread hanging out. And when my bobbin winder starts going, it pops off the thread. And so I don't have the issue with, make sure if you go, these were at Amazon. I don't know how much they are right now. At that one time, I spent $35 for 100 of these. They are just as good as these, but these came out to 30 cents a bobbin. I mean, the quilting community, man, is like poking our eyes out. They really are poking. I mean, this is not even worth the $2 or $1.50 or $2.50. The gamma ones, I'm sure because they are weighted, they are a heavier metal. Maybe they're worth $3.50, but come on. These at Amazon that have the slit inside, which these I paid more for, and I don't use these because look at the dome. I'm going to show you. These are kind of domey. Can you even see that? They kind of dome. Do you see that dome? How it kind of domes in? These are completely flat to your bobbin case. I use the Bobbin Genie, and I use these Bobbin Genies for Longarm quilting. I remove my check spring. Now, we all have different machines. They all work differently. I found that this Bobbin Genie with this bobbin and my Tova tensioner gives me the most tension ever. I hate the check spring on my gamel. So I have a gamel Statler stitcher. So I don't like it. I noticed that the check spring would cause a check spring is to keep the bobbin from constantly rolling and over rolling, which causes problems, but it causes a lag when you stop quilting. And so my recommendation is this. And have a good bobbin. If you want good tension, have a good bobbin winder. Innova has the best one. I'm sorry, Gamel. Sorry, Statler. Sorry, whoever else. Innova has the best bobbin winder that I found, because you could use it for your Longarm quilting and your regular sewing machine. All you have to do is change this little thing. I don't use the check spring. I use these. And if you have a regular sewing machine, they also have these check springs for regular sewing machines and for your embroidery machine. So, and I have my Tova tension. A lot of people do not like using king tut threads because they don't know how to do tension. They don't know how to work tension, and they use cheap fabric or cheap quilting material, which they use. What is that? Quilting. It's not even quilt. It's a polyester thread that they use that's cheap for quilting clients' quilts and they're like, my machine, it's very picky. It doesn't know how to work on a gown. My machine only likes this thread. The truth is you're a liar. You don't know how to work your tension, and you don't want to fiddle with it. That's the truth, okay? It's tension. Learning tension is a pain in the butt. But if you get good at tension, you could use any thread and you know how to get the tension just right. So my tricks was these bobbins, the Bobbin Genies, and having a really good winder and the tension Tova. If you have those three things working for you, you could use any thread. I promise you. The other day I used this thread. It's an old thread that I used to have. It's a sulky thread. Someone wanted that thread. I kept popping the thread and I couldn't get the tension right. I couldn't get it right. And I was frustrated because I was like, maybe my machine only likes the thread I normally use. No, the thing is, the thread was a thicker thread. If you have a thicker thread, you need to get your type tension lighter so it's not popping that thread. If you have a thinner tension, tighten your tension so that it could create that good drag that you want. So literally the first row that it quilted, it popped the thread, it popped the thread, it popped the thread. It's frustrating. It takes time. I kept adjusting my tension on my top. I left my bobbin the same. And after the first row where I popped the thread like 10 times, after the first time it popped, but it went a little further, then it popped, it went a little further than that. And as I went along, I finally got it to where it did the whole four rows, I think it was 4 rows, without any popping, and the tension was perfect. But as long arm quilters or makers, you have to be willing to invest in the ability of knowing how to work the stuff you hate. And one of the stuff that we long armers hate is messing with tension. So if you know your tension, because I know my tension, I could use a silk fabric, silk thread on my long arm. I can use bottom line on my long arm. I can use King Tut on my long arm. And I know King Tut's the hardest thread to get the perfect tension on, because it's one color on one end and it pops on. You'll have like little pokies on the top if you don't have good tension. And sometimes on certain angles, it'll have that tension. But if you can, in generalize, get really beautiful tension on King Tut threads, you can get tension on any thread. But tension, learn it. If you're long armers, that is the best gift you could give yourself, because you're not stuck with one thread. There's this lady and she only uses, what is it? It's the polyester thread, and she only uses solid threads, and it's a cheap thread that you could get like 15 yards of thread, sorry. What is it called? I don't even remember what it's called. I don't even remember. But she rips off people, charging them $17 on a cheap thread. And then she's like, that's the only thread my machine knows. The only thread. And then she's manipulating the system by saying to her clients, I can only use this thread. And then she's manipulating the system, because then a client can't say, I don't like your thread prices. Can I bring you a spool of thread that I paid $16 and at least I get more than half of it back? And so, yes, it's glide. It's that stupid glide thread. I think it's $7 for 15 yards? 15,000 yards. And it's cheap thread. It's a polyester thread. And it isn't necessarily, I think it is meant more for embroidery, not necessarily quilting, but people use it for long arm quilting. And this person is charging $17 to quilt a twin size quilt. And it's just because her client came to me, and the poor client, I'm charging my client for King Tut best beautiful thread. I pay it's wholesale $40 for the spool of thread. I pay $40 retail. I pay wholesale. I pay $20 for the thread, and mine is Egyptian cotton, beautiful thread. I think it's one of the best threads out there, but that's my personal opinion because of the way it colors the quilt. It is 100% cotton, but that's my opinion, right? But some people use glide, and I don't care if you use glide. I think when you're starting off, whatever thread you can afford is the best thread you got. But I don't like the fact that this person is lying to people and manipulating people by overcharging. Like the thread, 15 yards of thread is $7, and she's charging for a twin size quilt $16 to quilt someone's quilt. So anyway, she's like killing people with thread charges. So her client came to me, and I and I charged her like I think I charged her $7 for it was a twin, $7 for my Egyptian cotton King Tut thread, and she was shocked. She's like, why aren't you, I'm surprised that you're charging me $7 and not $16. And I said, how high has this person gone? That at one time she's paid her $24 for thread. So be careful with long armers if you go to long armers and you're not if you're not a long arm yourself, be careful they will poke your eyes out on thread. It's a way of, a lady had a company and she started doing $12, $13 a thread. And keep in mind, this was like 10 years ago. I'm still, for my king tut, I'm paying $20 for it. But at the time, she was only paying $8 for the thread. But she was charging $12 to quilt a quilt. And I understand, you know, more densely quilted quilts, yes, charge more. If it's a custom quilt and you're changing threads, and yes, charge more. But I don't know. Be kind to your clients. You're going to weary them. And the ladies like didn't want to get her her quilts quilted anymore because she couldn't afford $24 just for thread. That's ridiculous. When she could have bought a spool of glide, a whole spool of glide, and taken it to that Longarmer for $7. And when that client found out, because I told the client, you're being screwed, you're being lied to, you're being played, be careful with that. I would recommend her go buy a spool of thread for your quilt. And then every quilt you make, go buy a spool and take it to your client. She can't say she can't use that thread when that's the thread she says she uses. I only use glide because that's the best thread my machine can use. That's not true. $29 for $100. Okay, you found them, Doris. The slits. Make sure you get the ones with the slits. They're worth the slit. It's worth the slit. $29 for 100 of these with the slit. Without the slit, they have. Oh, and make sure. Oh my God, can I get you? Make sure it is a completely open slit, because I've gotten some. Let me show you that this one looks like it has an open slit. Let me see. But do you see the little hole? It only has a little hole. And you want a complete, I'm talking bobbin. You want the complete open slit. All of it open, not a little hole. So check that. Because I ended up buying them, and this one had, it works, but the hole is so small, to put that thick quilting thread through the hole, it's a pain. Just saying. I like the big open slit. Just saying. But they're worth it. These, I love these, man. And I have tons of these. Yes, Tucker. I'm not saying glide is a problem. I whatever you can afford is what you can afford, right? I am just saying, don't mistreat your client. I mean, come on. $20 to quilt a twin size quilt with glide thread that it only costs you $7. Ah, come on. You're being rude. I think you're being rude, and you're being selfish, and you're taking advantage of a situation if you do that kind of stuff. Be good with your people. I'm not using them, darling. Okay, I will find the link of where I got my bobbins, and I'll post it somewhere on this video. Remind me, because I forget. I will post where I bought these from. Exactly the place that I got from. I also, I got these bobbins. These bobbins. Has anybody used these? Has anybody used these Deco bobbins for Longarm quilting? I got these at the Houston Quilt Show probably 2 years ago, and I have never used them. I don't know. I'm just used to my way. You know what I mean? My way. But I will post where I ordered these, because I ordered these that have the little tiny hole, and I don't like them very well. But you want to make sure they're completely flat. Flat, 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 flat. But, okay, I'm just going to say this because I don't want you mad at me if they don't work for you. Each machine works different, okay? I don't want you. Moderna. Moderna thread? Moderna. I don't use it. I don't know. I don't have an opinion. I've never used Moderna thread. So I don't know. No, I don't know. I've used, one thread that I want to use, and I think I'm going to like. Wait. Let me see. Essentials thread. I've talked about this before. Essentials connection thread. I love this thread. I like it for piecing and I like it for longarm quilting. Surprisingly, a client brought this to me and I told her I would try it because she didn't. I was charging her $5 to quilt each quilt, $5 to $6 per quilt. She brought me the thread and I quilted 2 quilts, 2 baby quilts with this for her. And am I close to Houston? I'm about probably like 2 hours away from Houston. Yes, has to have a slit. And they Connections thread from Essentials thread is now making longarm quilting spools. They're making cotton spools and they're really cheap. So if you want to get 100% cotton thread for your longarm quilting, but cheap, because I think King Tut is pretty expensive, I think their spools were like $10. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you for being part of my channel. Yes, Connections thread. I love them. I'll look it up. I've never tried Moderna thread. I don't live far from Houston. I think I'm an hour away from Austin. And I think when I go to the Houston Quilt Show, it takes me 2 hours and 30 minutes to get there. So no, I'm not far. Someone asked me about my laser. All right, so let me answer. I'm about an hour on the east side. On Houston? Cindy? I am still learning on my laser. I have made several things. My laser is not coming probably till March. I think I'm not going to get it till probably April or May. But I don't care because I have a laser that I'm making stuff out of right now. The other day, and I don't have it up here, I lasered a whole bunch of ironing boards and I lasered the names of the people that got ironing boards from me. And so, Cindy, well, just let me know. Maybe one day we'll meet. I go to Houston at the Houston Quilt Show. So if you want to meet one day, we can meet. I would love to meet you, Cindy. Someone said Leslie wants to look a closer look at thread. Which thread? Connections thread? Oh, let me show you this. Another thread I like. Did you know the Missouri Star Quilting has come out with their own thread line? Ooh, Marshall's Dry Goods. Oh, why? Remove. Marshall's Dry Goods. Yes, I ended up getting a whole bunch of back fabric from them. As a matter of fact, I bought 5 rolls from them. I get the back fabric from them. I love it. As a matter of fact, because I got so much back fabric, I'm doing a whole bunch of donated quilts, baby quilts with it. I love it. A friend of mine the other day wanted back fabric and I sold her, I think a yard of back fabric for her quilt top, which was really like it was a deal for her, but in a way I'm getting a little bit of my money back. But look at this. 3,000 yards, 100% cotton from Missouri Star Quilting. A client of mine showed me their beautiful thread. Well, gave me the spool. She gave me the spool. Courtney, you like it? I just got this spool from a client of mine. She said she accidentally bought it or they gave it to her as a gift. But the neat thing, it's 100% cotton, 3,000 yards. I don't know. How expensive is this, Courtney? Do you know? I don't know how expensive this is because it was given to me by a client who I do custom work for. Oh, Lord Jesus, have mercy. No. I'm sorry, sir. We don't believe that. Hold on. We're going to have to moderate this sucker. Okay. Thank you. I was going to help you. So, let's see. I love Marshall's good. I wonder how they're doing that. Okay. So, remove. Please ignore these psychopaths here. We're getting a couple of them. Okay. I love the back fabric. I got a whole bunch of, someone asked me for the Marshall's dry goods. You can get a whole bolt of 108 back fabric. I got grunge was the color fabric that I got. I got a grunge black, a grunge teal, aqua, the blue fabric that you see on the long arm. I got that, and it's $5.50 a yard of back fabric. It's worth it. Oh my Lord, have mercy on me. Report. Oh my God, darling, you're wonderful. I know. Sorry, Miss Harris. It's just they don't know how to behave. Let's see if I could get them. Oh, they're off again. I know. I'm sorry. It's I don't know what to say. Thank you, Darlene. Please message me. You're doing a great job. Thank you, Darlene, for doing what you're doing. I'm trying to block them too while we're doing this, so that I'm sorry. Yes, Marshall's Dry Goods fabric. I love their back fabric. I recommend it. The fabric that I got was grunge, and then I got a solid blue. I like the way it feels. I like the way it feels. Yeah, I'll pray for them. Oh. Let the blind lead the blind, right? So yeah, I do recommend it. Thank you, Darlene. Seriously, message me. Send me your address. I have some blessings for you. What brand of thread is this one? This one is from Missouri Star Quilting. Apparently, they have their own thread now. So they have their own thread. All right. So what else do you want to talk about? Well, how long have we been here? 5:50. We're going on 2 hours. So I'm going to make a video on leaders. I want to make another video on my favorites, which I'm going to do. Someone asked me to do a video on, they asked me to do a video on my worst clients I've ever had. So I was going to do a video for that. I'm going to have a lot more time, thank God, because my life has been cleared out a lot more. I have a lot less pressure. But if you're in Texas, or if you live by San Antonio shirts in my area, I'm having an event. It's called the Sweet Honeybee. I have a Facebook group on there. Just put Sweet Honeybee and you'll see who it is. If not, go to Lorena's Quilting Facebook group and then you can join there. And I will let people know there if you want to come to my event. We are getting it going at a hotel now. Hey, Missouri came out with the thread. Yeah, someone sent me. I didn't know. Is it good? Question. You who say they sent you the thread. Is this good thread? How do I get advice notices on live streams? You have to subscribe. You also have to hit that bell notification. And when you hit it, you have to hit all. What ends up happening with YouTube, if you joined one of my videos, for example, if you watch my embroidery video, and that's when you subscribed, from that point on, you're only going to get my embroidery content. Does that make sense? If you just subscribed and you did, like you saw one of my favorite videos, because you like watching my favorite stuff, and you subscribed in that video, from that point on, YouTube says, oh, they like this video. We're only going to send Lorena to them when Lorena has another favorites video. You're saying it's linty. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. So you have to subscribe and hit that bell. And in that bell, it says if you want to customize what you want to watch from me. If you put all, YouTube will send you to all my videos. Longarm quilting, chatty videos, business videos, embroidery. It will send you to all of them. Right now, I'm learning the laser. So I do have already another channel established. I just haven't put a video there. When I do that video, I think I'm going to send a link to the Facebook group that I have, Lorena's Quilting, and I may share it here to let you guys know. To let you guys, maybe I'm going to put them on a timeout too. Little psychos. So that's when you will get the notifications. But if you've just like joined, if you just subscribe to a live video, then what happens from that moment on, you're only going to get notifications from YouTube about my live videos. So Chris, who's on here, her name is Christine Bullard. She's the one that got me on getting the 108 back fabric. She also bought the batik fabric that she gave me. I'm going to share that, Christine, okay? She goes by Chris or Christine. So she gave me this. We're talking about back fabric, the Marshall's Good. She gave me this batik fabric bundle. Isn't it beautiful? And she bought a bundle. You bought a bundle, Chris, with some friends? Is that true? And they split it, and she says that she still had so much of it that she literally gave me, I don't know, did you give me 1.5 yards? It feels like 2 yards of fabric per each color. Isn't that beautiful? And these are all batiks. They're beautiful. She's the one that gave me the swaps of the back fabric. And let me show, this is one of the back fabrics that I got. You know how when you buy cheap fabric, it's very stiff and heavy and thick? This one, it doesn't have that grittiness. It folds very pretty. It feels pretty expensive. It feels like regular quilting fabric. It's really nice fabric. And this is what I'm talking about when it said grunge. I love this fabric. I ended up buying about 4 bolts, and then I did a job for my brother, and he ended up using panels for art shows. And so I made him about 45 panels that were 90 by 40. 90 by 40? 90 by 26 or 28, and that was one side, and they were double-sided. And I used 1 full bolt to make him those 24 panels. And so the neatest thing is I made like $300 for those panels, and I only paid $80 for the whole bolt of fabric. But he got a deal because at art shows, people who do art shows, they do, to make the panels, they charge him about, he says they charge at the art show places that do panels for the artists, they charge him about like $3,000 for the panels. So it was a deal for me. Like I made my fabric back plus more, plus the labor, plus he got the panels for hardly nothing. Yeah, I'm sorry about the trolls. I have no idea. And one time I was doing a live stream and I didn't know how to handle the live stream. And so I gave my trolls the control of being monitors. I didn't know. That was a mistake. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just get off YouTube. And so I ended up getting off YouTube. So I'm so sorry. Please ignore them. Marshall's Dry Goods. But go on their 108 bolts. When you do the bolts, you get a better deal. Can you imagine? I think I got 15 yards of fabric at 108. So it's really a great deal. But okay, it's 7:25. Quick questions. Anybody else has anything to ask me? I'm here for you. Quick, because I don't want to keep you from your family. Some of you need to go hang out with your husbands and watch football. Not me. Not me. But I am having, my question is I wanted to have a retreat. And I wanted to invite some of my subscribers to a retreat event. There was a retreat place that the New Braunfels Quilt Guild uses. It is beautiful. Are you near Marshall? No, I ordered on the website for Marshall's. And I ordered, hold on. It took about a week and a half for me to get those items from them. Wound bobbins, yes or no? Wound bobbins, yes or no? I would say no, but I would say yes for a specific type of bobbin type. When I used to have my other winder, I had really a hard time winding so fine threads on my bobbin winder. I haven't tried it with my new bobbin winder, so I don't know. So on so fine threads or a silk thread, I did buy pre-wound bobbins like this. I even bought these because I wanted to try them. What's good about them, let me see. Let me try to get up. Like this is a really fine Deco Bob 80 weight. I believe this is an 80 weight bobbin thread. It's a really thin bobbin thread. I'm trying to look and find out. The problems with pre-wound bobbins, it's someone else is doing the work for you. Once you do get a lot more bobbins in this, but what happens with this is that this is it. If you don't have no more, you're kind of stuck. And if you do a lot of work for a lot of people, bobbins is where you get your work done. I like bobbins that you wind because you can wind the thread that you want to with them. And then these are always reusable and you can use them on any thread. You could use them on your silk threads, your so fine threads. You could use it on Missouri Star thread. You could wind your own. Does it make sense? So this is a usable asset that you can use from years on. If you get a pre-wound, once you use this thread, that's it. You do get a little bit more. Now, for long arm quilting, the word is no. No, even though I bought these to try them. For embroidery, because I do embroidery work, I have 2 6 needles and I have a 10 needle. I buy their pre-wound embroidery thread because their embroidery thread is thinner. It's a thinner thread in comparison to the embroidery thread that you're embroidering on the top. So I always use pre-wounds for embroidery. So I guess it depends. For long arm quilting, it's a novelty for me. It's not necessarily a good business decision because once you're out of this box, and I think I paid like $25 for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 for 24. I think I probably paid $24. I paid $1 a bobbin with thread. Once this is gone, it's gone. And to me, I bought this as a novelty to try it. Not necessarily to use for my clients. Because my clients are not going to use the colors I pick. If they buy, for example, if they pick this thread or this thread, I can wind these threads for them. And they could have this on the top and this on the bottom, or both on top and bottom. So for clients, you can't satisfy, you'll overspend on getting enough bobbins in the color range that your clients are going to pick thread with. Am I making sense with that? And it's going to cost you more. It's more of an expense. And if it costs you more, of course, you give the cost to your client, but then it's going to cost your client more than when if you have your own bobbins, you can wind any color that you want for your clients. Does that make sense what I'm saying? I hope I'm answering. So you can get them pre-wound to test them to see if you like them. And one of the reasons I bought pre-wound, I got so fine pre-wound because I wanted to do them for doing quilt shows. So I bought a couple pre-wound threads were silk and that were real fine. So that's kind of what I think these would be good for. But for a business, I think you'll lose, well, you won't lose money because you're putting on the cost of a client. But I don't think, once you don't have these, you're stuck. I hope I'm answering you well, Brenda. I hope I'm answering. I think I like winding my own bobbins for my clients. Thank you for wanting to hang out with me. Okay, someone said you got batting from Marshall's. Chris, is the batting from Marshall's good? I've never gotten their batting. Yeah, if you're making charity quilts, the best cost-effective way is for you to use your own and then wind your own. But if I do, and I'm being honest, for embroidery, I only use pre-wound because the bobbin for embroidery is real fine thread, and I don't want to mess with that. But I get a box it's called allstitch.com. It's an embroidery supply company. They give me a box of 100 pre-wound bobbins for a regular embroidery machine for like $19. So it's worth it to me because I'm getting a lot for nothing. They sell different brands. My question, Melissa, is the brand that you get, was the bobbin nice and fluffy and thick? I ended up buying some bobbin I ended up getting some batting at overstock.com. And I got I got all brands. Oh my God. I can't think right now. I got a Pellon 100% cotton batting for $100 for 25 yards, which was a great batting. I thought it was a great deal. But then when I got it, the batting was so thin and you could see through it. So I only use that batting for my charity quilts, and I only use that batting for like quilts that I give away. So because I do some charity quilts for kids with cancer, and I used to do charity quilts for Quilts of Valor, which I don't do no more. But I also do quilts for, like, I make antique quilts and I'll quilt them and then I'll donate them to a random stranger. That's what I use that batting for, because it is so thin. It's not even, I might as well use two pieces of batting because you could see through it. And you barely even pull it. Have you ever had batting that just falls apart on you? It comes in different weights. Okay, I'll check them out. Chris, I pay for shipping on a whole bolt and bundles, but not on cut yardages. Christine Bullard is the one that got me into getting that back fabric, because I was at Joann's with her and I was gonna buy like 108 fabric. Hold on, let me see if I could get rid of them. And the fabric, she's like, don't get it here, go to Marshall's Dry Goods. But the neat thing, what she did for me is she sent me several swatches so I could feel the back fabric. Because one of the reasons I don't want to buy a whole 15 yards of 108 back fabric is like, am I really going to like it? Is it good quality? And when she sent me the swatches of it, which I had here, when you sent me the swatches of it, it really got me sold on buying it. I won't go back. I'm hoping that when my new wife... Yeah, Leslie, I'm so sorry. I understand. Bobbin winding blows. But woes. I have a winder on my long arm. I hated it. And then I had the Gamma one. I hated that one too. It was horrible. It was horrible. Oh, come on. Put on a time. Let's see. Remove. So yes. Anything else, guys? I just love you guys. I thank you for taking time with me, spending time to hang out with me. What kind of bobbin winder do I recommend? I'll show it to you. I love this thing. I got two now. For Doris, your question, for the back fabric, it's $5.50 a yard of 108. But you have to buy the whole bulk, so the whole bulk comes for, it came out to like $86 for 15 yards. But this is my favorite bobbin winder. Bobbin winder. What I love about, okay, so this is a switch thing that you can unscrew this. So right now I have it for long arm quilting. So it's for the big giant bobbins. It's for, but if you switch and put this on, and you could literally just, it's unscrew here and then you put it here. This is for your smaller bobbins. So these are for, this is for an M bobbin because it's a bigger bobbin. And then they have it for the L bobbins for your sewing machines. So this could work for both. That's why I like it. The neat thing is when you lock it in, it just winds for you. And for long arm quilting, because the way your bobbin winds, the bobbin winder, the way your bobbin winder winds your thread is very important. I used to have, let me see, how can I show you? Do you see how consistent that wind is? Like it's literally winds going back and forth really beautifully. I used to have, and I don't even know if I have anymore. And you can even see, like, look at how beautiful and wound the bobbins are. They're pretty consistent. What I used to have a problem with, and it's wound consistent throughout as it unwinds as you're working. So these are different, you know, levels of how it's wound. It's consistent. It goes across consistently. What I had with my other bobbin winder is I would have like, it would, in the middle, it would be high and then it domed down like in an angle, and then it domed down on a different angle as it wound. And that bobbin winder literally winds. Look how consistent, even how it winds. It kind of domes right here, but that's a rarity. But it's just a consistent, beautiful, look at that wind. Look how beautiful all the way across it's wound. So I love these. I love this winder because of that. When it's winding throughout the whole bobbin, it's nice and even. My other bobbin winder, it would like wind real high on one end and it'd be dipped down, and that does affect your quilting. It does affect your tension. It does affect how the thread is moved throughout the machine. I really do appreciate you guys taking time to do lives. Lives are a whole lot easier, believe it or not, than doing videos. You should see how many hours I take on editing a video. There was someone that saw my videos and asked me to do that they would do editing my videos, but I'm kind of nervous about some people. I end up finding some, well, anyway, I ended up in a situation just recently that you think that you're dealing with really good people and you find out that you're dealing with really problematic human beings. And I tend to find a lot of problematic human beings. And so to give someone my videos kind of made me nervous. And so, I mean, it was a great rate for him to edit my videos, but I'm kind of like just leery. But I love doing lives. They're a whole lot easier. YouTube likes me doing lives because I'm talking to you guys for such a long time. Thank you, Michelle, for coming. You're traveling on Sunday. Yes. If you get a good winder, I mean, you're lucky. I bought one from Gamble, and then Gamble, the machine itself, has one. I remember on the machine, I would literally have to lean over and make sure that it was winding it right. It's just a lot of work. This one, you literally just pop it in, and it just does it by itself. I have videos where it's just running on me, but they are expensive. I spent like $150. And but I think I went to one Houston Quilt show and I made the guy torque set this for me because I'm too lazy to do that. So I'm buying it, set it for me. I'm not doing it. And I bought another one on another show. I bought another one. No, I you know, it's sad how I find crazies. I find crazies. And I left a situation just recently. You know, whether they agree with me leaving or not is not their. They have no right to have an opinion of whether I leave or not. It's we each have a right to live our own lives, right? Yes, Leslie, you own from it. I got mine from Innova when I went to the Houston Quilt Show. I'm sorry, there's lint on the floor and I'm trying to pick it up. Or I could vacuum it if I want it. I have gotten that batting. Okay, I will try. Did you like it, Chris? They're batting. Because I have 2 rolls right now and my favorite batting. This is my favorite batting. I love this batting because when I do quilts with it and then I wash it, it is thick and soft and fluffy and plushy. Is that a word? Plushy? This batting is just my favorite batting. And I get it at Joann's at 50% off. And I only get it at 120 by 120. All right. My saddle stool. I love it. Let me see. I love that thing. Wait. I love that thing. I love it. I also got that at, where did I get it? I got it at Innova at the Houston Quilt Show. I got my winders there and I got the chair there and I love it. As a matter of fact, I did an event recently and I was cutting a lot of fabric. I think on my next, no, I'm not going to bring it. I was thinking on my next event to bring it because it helps with your hips and your waist and it stretches your hip area and your lower back. And the reason I really love it is when I'm custom quilting it, it gets you set up in such a place where your legs are open and stable and your hips are stretched, which helps your lower back at the same time. And when I'm custom quilting leaning forward, I have less back issues. So I love it. And I got it at Innova. They're expensive though. I think I spent $200 and something for it. When I went to the Houston Quilt Show this year, I asked them if they had some and they said to order it online, and I just don't want to order another one online. I wanted to buy it there, so I'm saving on shipping. But, you know, They didn't take them because I don't think they were going to have a good turnout at the Houston Quilt Show because of COVID. And honestly, the crazy thing about us quilters, we don't care. There was tons and tons of people at the Houston Quilt Show. They have heirloom. So, but they have it at Inova. There it is. I love it. And then they have blue, teal, black, tan. So they have colors. And my favorite color is burgundy and purple. So the next one that I was going to get is I was going to get a purple one. I may get one. I don't know. You're talking to me, so we'll see. Leslie, I love them. If you want one, based on the money, is it worth the purchase? Yes. I use it all the time. But it hurts when you buy it. I feel like the Nova 2, it's $150. It's a heck of a lot of money. But is it worth it in the long run? Because of your tension, it fixed a lot of quilting problems for me, which were connected to my bobbin. It was worth the $150. I don't know how much they are now. So that's why I bought another one, and I bought another one just in case something happened to this one. At least I had another one. I don't know if they're the exact same. The same saddle stools. I know they have them at Amazon, but the one I got, mine is leather. It is leather, I believe. Is it leather? And it's in a really great condition. And at this time, I've had it for like 4 years. Hello, my beautiful lady. Hello, Carissa. How are you? Stabilizer. So let's see. My friend has a stabilizer for embroidery. I don't know. Is that what you're asking, Chris? It's nice to see you. I'm glad you're here. Are you working today, my friend? Are you working today? I'm doing good. I had a really hard week, but I made it through, so I'm all right. You paid for your bobbin winder. They're $179 now. At the time, I paid $150. They're expensive, right? But I don't know. It's worth it. It's worth it. You're going to love it. And I ended up buying 2 just in case one broke. At least I had a backup. That's the kind of person I am. Having a backup is important. Let me see. Let me see ya. So you guys are good. Okay, so let's see. What time are we at? 7:50 almost. We've been here 2 hours. I'm going to have to let you. Yes, it hurts the pocket. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's true. But if you do quilting for people, you'll know that you're having beautiful tension, and your clients will not complain about your quilting and your tension, and then you'll make money from your clients. You got 2 quilts done. You're awesome. Some of you are wonderful piecers. I ended up doing this heart quilt in a week. That's not my thing. Yes. I love the chair, especially when doing custom quilting. I really do. I don't use it as much. Like I use these chairs, my office chairs, when I'm like sewing but some people do use them for sewing. But for long arm quilting, leaning over that bar, and sometimes your long arm quilting, especially doing custom work, you're working for a good 10 to 12 hours in that day. It's a blessing when you're not on your back. But I wanted to know if you guys on the Facebook group, if you guys are on Loneliness Quilting Facebook group, would be interested in doing another block swap. Just a question. Hi from Barbara from Maryland. Thank you for watching me videos. I appreciate ya. So what do you think? Let me know. I know I need to do the video on the last block swap on how to make the quilt top, which I'm cutting the fabric for the second quilt. I'm going to edit that video for that quilt. Like I said, I had issues with my camera, so I wanted to do the whole video again, but I thought it would be fun to do another block swap like Lee did last year. Last year we had 3 groups. We had thrust groups of 12 people, and I think we had a white background, black background, and a gray background in the group. My only issue is I want to make sure that I have the video posted of the other quilt. I'm sorry, I'm looking at a question. So I was thinking of doing that. Tucker was talking about the hydraulics on the Longarm. Yes, Tucker, you're right. It saves your back. Hydraulics on a Longarm are a blessing, though they cost a lot of money. The brand of my saddle chair. Hold on. It's from Anova. So, can you see that? No. It says Joe's Quilting Studio.com. You want the number? 281-232-6565 is the company that makes this saddle bag. Hold on. And let me show you this. Can you see that? Take a picture from your camera. Plink. This says that it's a Stool Professional with saddlebag seat. It has an order number. It's a 9-inch cylinder chrome star base. So that's what this is. What I like about this, I love this seat. I've had it for years and I've never had problems with it. I think sometimes when you buy something from somebody, that's why I'm not sure about the Amazon saddle seats. I'm secure with it. Like, I know that this saddle seat is a great seat, so that's why I recommend it. I don't know how the other saddle seats. And then let me see. As a matter of fact, you can see it goes as high as 18 inches. So let's say, have you gotten your batting at Joann's at a roll? Yes, I have gotten. I used to get Warm and Natural batting in rolls from Joann's and Hancock Fabrics when they were here in San Antonio, but they're not here anymore. Guys, hydraulics on your Longarm. You can't go wrong, ever. You can never go wrong. You haven't put the quilt tops together. Well, I did one quilt top, right? And I need to Longarm it and quilt it on the block swap. I ended up doing 2 on the block swap that we just recently did. I did a black back fabric and a gray back fabric. They're beautiful. But I want to quilt them now, but I need to make the video on how to put the top together because it's a diamond quilt top. So we'll see. I think I may want to do that probably in the beginning of April. Do the block swap. I'll design the quilt top and do everything like that and get that going for us if we want to do it. We'll see how it goes. So you guys are great. Some of you Like Carissa Tucker did the block swap. There was a couple other people that sometimes come on my stream did the block swaps. Everybody, there was only one person last block swap that I decided to do them, and that's why I ended up doing gray, because she was new at quilting and piecing, and I think probably the whole process overwhelmed her, and then the pressure of having it done by people. Anyway, so I went ahead and I said, don't worry about it. I did it for her. Yes, Doris Anderson, you did one. And a couple people, because of COVID, I had to find other people to do the block swap and get them doing it instead of the person who originally started, because a couple of my friends that were doing the block swap ended up in the hospital because of COVID. So that was an issue. But I think now a lot of us have been vaccinated, even though I have met a lot of people recently who have gotten COVID, which is insane. But I will consider doing another one. I would love it, but shipping to Canada is too expensive. Yes, Michelle, you could, honestly, I'll ship to Canada. I don't mind. Yes, on another block swap. We'll see. We'll talk about colors and we'll see how it goes. Clarissa, talk to me. I'll give you a deal. Send it to me and I'll have it done for you. And I'll give you a deal. I'll give you a great price. If you want to send it to me. Yeah. Message me, Clarissa. I love you guys, okay? It's about 7:57. I love you. Thank you for taking time to spend with me. Thank you for letting me chat with y'all. Keep me in your prayers, and I'll pray for y'all. Please pray for me, people. I'm like, I need prayer. It's been a heck of a month, but it's been a good thing. And I'm going to soon probably post a link to my new YouTube channel. Please support me. Please give me some love. I don't want to start at zero again. Yes, because I want to do a video on the laser, why I chose the company, some of the stuff that I made. I still need to make those tumblers. So I appreciate you. So Chris Bulward said that Marshalls does have interfacing. Someone was asking. But I love you guys. Please, I don't know. Do you guys want to get a giveaway? Last, I did do a giveaway. Okay, what about the retreat? I want to do a retreat. I don't know how to do it. There's a retreat in New Braunfels, the place that they go to. I want to call them and see if we could do a retreat there. I would like to do it it would probably be a summer retreat if we do one. I am trying to plan for a small retreat here around my birthday with only like some really close friends that I want to do a retreat. So that's going to be a closed retreat, but I do want to do an open retreat to the community out here, to you guys. But it would be in Texas, and some of you are from different states. So that would be something that we would have to kind of like plan. Thank you for recommending my channel. I want to do a retreat where it has like water. It's beautiful. It's kind of like a refuge. The New Braunfels retreat was miserable when I went. The people were miserable, not the place. So I want to kind of see about that location and see if I could have a small retreat. And that would be open to anyone. That retreat is probably closer it's probably closer to Fort Worth, maybe in between Fort Worth and in Dallas, Texas. I went there tennis club with our guild. Dripping Springs. I have friends that visit in Dripping Springs, Texas. Is there a retreat place there? So I want to do a retreat. I really think it would be fun to have a retreat. But it would be open. At this time, I am going to do a small retreat, but it's ultimately just some of my closest friends, because I have been dealing with problem people, and I just don't want to do a retreat with some, I don't know, man. There's some people that need therapy. I'm just saying, there's some people that are bipolar, that they're real loving to you in 1 minute, and then they're acting like psychopaths a minute. I don't want to be around people that have this ugly energy around. I don't know. That when I went to the New Braunfels retreat, was miserable. I paid like $400 to go to that retreat, and I had the worst time, and I don't want to have a retreat like that. So I'm kind of like weighing it out what I want to do. For another time for another road trip. A road trip. I would love to do a road trip. I know they have a, I've never been to a retreat. I'd love to come one, but I'm so far away. Yes, Doris, negative people are hard. I'm trying to, what am I trying to do at this turning time in my life? You know how in the beginning of the year, I was saying I'm going to be determined about scheduling my time and organizing it better, and not letting my things kind of overtake my time and my energy. I've really have unexpectedly cut out a lot of that recently, and walked away from a whole group that just didn't know how to have manners. And so I talked about it in my other live stream, and I'm getting a lot of backlash because I walked away. I'm getting a lot of just breakups are hard, right? Breakups are hard with couples, but breakups are hard also too in community groups. You become part of a family of groups, and so I'm dealing with that. I guess they thought we were couples, but I don't have a wedding paper with them, so I felt like I could divorce them at any time. But they're not taking it very well, but it's okay. But I'm glad with the decisions that I made. I really am glad. And I'm really thankful, because in making this decision, it's setting me free for this coming, February. January was great. Going into a new year. A virtual retreat sounds like a great idea. I've never thought of that. Doing a Zoom class with retreats. Doing a Zoom class and all of us sewing the same thing. That would be kind of crazy fun. I checked it. It's 2,200 miles from my house to Fort Worth. I would have to look at next year. Yes. So, but those are thoughts. Thank you, Marcel, and good night. Yes. Well, I'm glad because, okay, so this walking away from a group is great, but also finding some great gems within the group was the best thing ever. One of the gems was Chris. I would have never met her if I wasn't part of that group. She's been a blessing. And there's some other wonderful women that I really am so thankful that I have them in my lives. And yes, 10-hour drive for me. Yes, well, I don't know. Maybe I'll drive 5, you guys drive 5. You know what would be cool? A retreat at the Grand Canyon. Wouldn't that be cool? Is there such a thing that we could do there? Go to a Grand Canyon retreat and just Is there a place like that? Jeanette Harris, I love you guys. I thank you for watching. I thank you for taking time. But we'll talk about that next time. I really am going to look into the retreat thing and see what we can find. I appreciate you and I love you. Have a wonderful day, okay? So I'm going to say bye. Bye.